Thanks for joining us at OP Noobs here on Twitch for the qualifier number 2 of the E4I Verdun World Championship 2018. That isn't the right year. It doesn't matter.
That's all right. Everyone gets it wrong. Next year, it's all going to be 2017 for the first 3 months.
That's right.
It's become a common joke with you, Adam.
What, time?
That is not the right date. I think you pulled that off last time.
Well, look at a calendar, Fred. All right, we are looking to get live here. GKD and TrAC are warming up. Looks like we've got a few new players. Unless they have changed their names, I know we've got a couple more hashtag Winlands that I remember from the last tournament. So chat, let us know what you think. We know TrAC might be the favorites here, but we are definitely looking for a close game. I know in the previous qualifier we didn't have too many of those. Tended to be a little one-sided, but today, without the, or at least in this match, without the presence of guys like Zab, we might see something a little more back and forth.
That's going to be the hope. You always want some a bit more exciting and engaging. With I mean, if one team walks all over them, it's not quite as fun.
Right. As the hashtag Winland fans would have you believe, because they are typically the ones on the fun side of that of that railroading.
Well, yeah, because the one doing the walk-in it's usually a fun place to be in. It's that other side that just makes it like ugh. All right, let me see if I can get there. All right.
Fred, I think we are we are ready to go.
Yeah, I'm messaging the team. I'm messaging the team in game. We're about getting ready to go.
You need to speak in their native Winnish tongue. And so today we are on Artois, a game that a map rather. Known for its real lack of cover, mostly just a flat wasteland outside of a couple high points. Without the presence of machine guns being allowed in competitive, we are going to see probably a lot more in the trenches, up close fighting styles. The Europeans not known for their more aggro style. That is typically an American trait, although it does seem to be the general consensus that aggro style can be much more effective in the higher end competitive level.
There is also something very suspicious right now, which is somebody named Spamnix.
Yeah,
somebody named Spamnix, who's joined up with TrAC. I'm not sure what it means. Is it Samnix? Could it be Samnix?
That sounds like it might be against the rules, but we will find out. Because Samnix is pretty damn good. So if he is high up,
there he is. All right, let's see if I can find him. Where is he? There he is. Let's take a closer look at him, see what he's gonna do. Right now, looks like it's just a lot of poke, just getting some shots off. Not a whole lot happening yet.
Typically early matches, yeah, you're looking to get a pick, find your way into the match or find your way into the trench so that you can gain a foothold and start that cap. We see GKD coming in here, taking the trench pretty early, although TrAC did just get a spawn back. We might see them move back over to that right side of the trench, get ulti and do glass down, but ulti is on a rampage right now, gonna shoot JMX right in the back.
Yeah, it looks like GKD is, they're doing they're not getting a whole lot of resistance. They're moving in, and looks like TrAC just, I don't know, they're gonna need to try to regroup, I think, in order to get a better defense here.
TrAC with a big spawn over on their left side. We will see. That is where all of their forces are going. They are looking to get wiped here as GKD pulls down 4 kills right off the bat. Although TrAC, another big spawn, might be able to retake this trench.
Looks like they're kind of trying to go for a divide and conquer strategy. Let's see if it works. Because right now it looks like, what, 3v3, I think? Or 3v2, never mind. Take that back. Looks like someone did get picked off there at the end. Oh, another big spawn, though. So I think TrAC looks like they are able to stabilize again.
And it does appear that Alti, a standout player and an experienced commentator as well, I think we will have him in the booth today at some point with his Bond villain-esque terrifying voice. Will be joining us. I certainly hope. But off to a good start, leading the server right now with 6 kills. As GKD looks to hold on to this trench. We're at 1-1 so far. Again, I guess we are getting what we want. The early round matches were not nearly this close.
No, it looks like it's yeah, it looks much more even. I was worried. You did say that sometimes it can be a bit one-sided, but it is looking to be a pretty decent match. As soon as TrAC was able to reestablish, they're able to get a good defense. So now I think GKD needs to do the same. Wait for that, you know, for them to group back up again.
We do have a GKD foothold here in that finger reaching out from the trench. They do have the high ground. Looking down on TrAC, although they just lost it from a really nice shot from Smoker5, who I don't believe participated in our previous tournament. Or in the previous qualifier, I should say.
Oh, I thought they were able to get something there, but Spug and Famnix were able to get a good defense. Take out, I think, 3 guys by themselves. That was a really good job, so I think they're going to take this most likely and get another point for themselves. At least that's what it's looking like so far.
GKD does have the foothold right now.
Well, unless TrAC comes back in, because it looks like Smoker's over there. He's doing a whole lot. He's popping off by himself. Oh, he's taken out, so that's unfortunate. So, yeah, I think GKD's, they're probably going to win this particular round, and then TrAC's going to have to try again. They're looking for some darkness.
Darkness is in it alone over there. Down he goes, finally.
Yeah, I think he had to realize, like, guys, you're kind of leaving me alone here. I don't know what to do.
Uber Nanos, definitely one of the standout players for TrAC, with a rather mediocre 6 kills at the moment. Of course, there are many other ways to participate in a game like this, but 6 kills from one of your better players should be a bit underwhelming. We should see that fix itself soon, especially if TrAC wants to get back in this.
Yeah, it looks like they're all going down the one, but Ulti's the only one watching the... Oh, but it doesn't really matter. He can do it all by himself, it looks like. Able to take out 2.
That's what you call the Ulti effect.
No, it definitely seems like TrAC is zerging around. I don't know if that's just a result of how their spawns have turned out, but I definitely seem to remember a more spread out attack in some of the better teams from our previous weekends. Maybe with this spawn here being a little more spread out, we might see them try from a couple different angles. But for the most part, GKD has been able to focus all their fire on one area, really allowing TrAC to, or not allowing TrAC to make much ground, as there's no pressure coming from anywhere else in those trenches.
Yeah, I see you're hoping, but it looks like a lot of them are trying to take this one route with only a couple with Rek and Jimmix, if I get that name right, and they're taken out. So I think GKD is doing a really good job of keeping spread to prevent them, you know, so they're getting a whole bunch of angles and a whole bunch of viewpoints to see them, and TrAC just can't quite get through it because they're all going down one area by them all together.
see what happens. TrAC's best killer, or actually JMX is going to be their top killer right now. Smoker being their second, but Smoker and Darkness are going to be trying to fix that strategy we've been talking about. Oh, they do get a full squad spawn. Ulti is their competition right now as they get a foothold. We'll see if they can hang on to this. GKD has got to make a transition on the other side of that trench. Ulti goes down. Spamnix and Saladin both making progress in this trench. Spamnix making huge waves. This is a nice little turn here for TrAC.
Yeah, a whole lot better. I think I just said they got the big spawn over on the far end where a lot of GKD was not, and so they were able to get a couple really important picks, and then GKD at that point, there wasn't a whole lot they could do, even with ulti, you know, really trying to get stuff done. It was pretty much a done deal at that point.
Ulti did well enough to take 2 with them, but they were still able to push through there. TrAC evening the score here. We are at a 2-2 tie right now. This is going to be a best of 3 series. Is that correct, Fred?
Yes.
Best of 3. So
best of 2.
Best of 2. Excuse me.
It could be a draw.
Okay. We'll see what we got, because it looks like TrAC is holding them off pretty well. But it looks like someone got a bit ballsy there. They've taken out.
It's going to be a question of whether or not TrAC can hold this. I mean, there is plenty of time. We are just reaching the halfway point in this match. We will see if somebody can hold some momentum. It has been really back and forth so far.
Yeah, yes, I agree, and it's really good to watch. But as one of the players on each of the teams, it's like you really want to try to get that momentum going, but it's pretty much so far we haven't seen anything in terms of a solid defense. It's as soon as the other team gets the big spawns, they wipe the current team. So let's see if GKD is able to do it here, especially with these last few kills coming in to stagger out some spawns.
I mean, four total captures, 4 points in the first half of this match. That is about as much as we've seen in the E4I championships here.
Some good stuff here. So let's see GKD. Come on, see if you can do it. And TrAC, rooting for you too. I don't really know who I want to root for right now, but I'm just interested in some exciting gameplay here. So let's see if they learn from their past mistakes of going down a single path. It looks like they have. They are splitting up a lot more now. So maybe they're able to get something done.
Now we are seeing actually 4 identical squads on each team. So really countering each other. Strategy for strategy, really. We've got TrAC trying to make a hold here, but Uber Nanos is tremendously outnumbered. Let's see if he can grab a couple kills.
Nah, it looks like he was only able to take out Famnix before he shot in the back. So only so much he could do there, but I think he made it work for what could have happened.
GKD appears to be putting the pressure on here. We will see if they can pick up 2 points. That is going to be really tough to make up 2 or 3 points for the win for TrAC by the end of the match. When at that point they would probably only have maybe about 11 minutes to go if they can even take this first trench right now.
And it looks like, based on the numbers, TrAC is at a slight disadvantage. They only have, 3 against 4. They are able to take out a couple of GKD, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Because we have Demas. He's just in the back, and so far no one has been able to contest him. But he offers a very nice, long-range point of view, so he's able to say where people are coming from. And so far, no one's been able to take him out.
It does seem like TrAC has lost a bit of coordination here, running in numbers 1, 2, and 3 at a time, without without the rest of their squad being there to back them up. They just kind of trickle in, and GKD is able to without TrAC picking up any picks. You've got GKD just with more guns on the field at all times.
Could it be that Samnix is missing?
And been replaced by Spamnix the imposter?
Well, let's see. It looks like most kills on the side of TrAC come from Jimix, followed by Smoker. But Smoker, he was having a pretty good game at first, but it looks like his the amount of kills he's gotten has slowed down quite a bit ever since GKD is, solidified in their defense.
And thanks for joining us on Twitch, guys. So happy to see you. Give a big, weird, memey round of applause to Uber Hans, killing it in the chat for us on behalf of E4I. Don't forget that we've also got more championships coming up, more tournaments coming up, and of course the release of Tannenberg coming up very quickly here.
It just released. It just came out.
Oh Jesus! Okay,
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Was the first day in early access, and it's a resounding success. Honestly, like from what I've seen on Steam, quite almost only very positive reviews, and quite a few of them too. So I think they did well for an early launch. So it's exciting.
It is. Verdun, the game that we're watching here today, that I am apparently mispronouncing, is
how is it pronounced? Is it not Verdun?
Verdun is how it's pronounced here in America.
It's pronounced Verdun.
Verdun, like that? Is that close?
That's right.
Yeah, we're there.
All right.
This is known as sort of one of the success stories of Steam Greenlight. Actually, Steam Greenlight, now a defunct program, heavily criticized by the likes of Jim Sterling and some other folks. But Verdun was always one that people were able to point to and say, "See, something like this is possible. This can work."
It certainly can. There are quite a few, but then you just look over to the back of the room and you see all those games that just either never got finished or it was more of the early access stuff. But it is nice to see games like this that did make it and are those success stories.
Yes,
so that's good.
Absolutely. I mean, they sold 500,000 copies, I believe, of Verdun from an indie developer. That is a huge deal.
And it's also, and I hate to say it, but it's also the community that makes this game. I mean, there is a vibrant community, and these people care more about Verdun than we care about Verdun. It's kind of, without the community, I don't think the game would be what it is today. And I also want to add that I took a quick look at Tannenberg just yesterday, and it looks slick. It looks like they've done some fantastic work on the graphics, and even technically speaking, I think there's improvements that are coming our way, and also improvements that are going to bleed off onto Verdun itself, because I guess the lesson learned from the developers in building up Tannenberg are going to be patched onto Verdun as well. There still is very much a commitment towards the original game, so I'm pumped about 2018 and how the community will take this game forward.
Yeah, for a genre that has plenty of competition, there's plenty of World War I and World War II shooters. World War I, of course, takes on a slightly different angle, unless, of course, you're talking about Battlefield 1. Where it's just as arcadey and absurd as anything else. But with games like this and Tannenberg, you're getting something that's much more resembling that trench warfare, that trying to build momentum and gain ground. It's not purely based on can you shoot them. You have to see something a little more tactical here, and that's something that makes it I think that makes people fall in love with the game from a community standpoint, and it makes it fun to watch. It makes it a very good competitive environment. Some of these guys, some of the high end players, like Zab, who am I missing here? Like Ulti, these guys are going to be these guys should be surgeons. These fine motor skills.
Yeah, because this game just has such a different feel compared to, as you said, Battlefield, Call of Duty, pretty much, you know, any of these big games that come out that are these old war ones. And it has such a different feel because you can't. The reload mechanics are different. The pretty much everything, you know, is just feels different. So, and I think a lot of people like that because they get so used to the mechanics of Battlefield and they want something a little bit different. So.
Right. This is not a shooter that that you pick up and you say, "Oh, I've done this before." You kind of have to work your way through some stuff to really figure out what makes this game the success that it is. And we see a 4-3 game here going into the last 8 minutes. GKD still holding on to that lead. Things can change pretty quickly here. If we can tie up the round, that would lead us into a second half that would need to be decided by a point in order to avoid a tie.
Oh, it looked like GKD did have a slight advantage there, but then TrAC had the massive spawn, so they were able to take it. So I think the momentum is most likely going to go in favor of TrAC here due to the early spawn, but yeah, who knows? Maybe GKD is going to be able to pull some out here. Ooh, and a grenade is gonna take out that last one.
Looks like we have at least one Tribes fan on the GKD side as Shazzle Azzle Azzlebot. Actually coming in with 28 kills in this game. But Alti, no one really coming all that close to Alti having a pretty dominant game at 42 and 17 kill to death ratio here. As we see GKD take another point, taking a 5-3 lead, which is going to make this really tough for TrAC, likely having to make up 2 points in the second half of this match.
Yeah, and that's hard because as soon as you start losing that momentum, even just as simple as a mental issue where you really start thinking about it, and it's hard to gain back that momentum.
Especially when you've got players like TrAC, or sorry, players like Alti, I should say, that they not only have the lead, but they've also got the skill advantage with those shooting skills from Alti and Shazzle Azzle Azzlebot, which I just love saying.
Shazazazzlebot.
That's right.
Okay, I'm probably going to get that wrong every single time. I always get the names wrong. I've been learning to accept that. That's not to say that TrAC doesn't have skill on their side. I've seen Uber Nanos go off multiple times. He's all by himself in a group of GKD, and he manages to take out 3 all by himself, and not going to do anything there. Looks like Naki is going to take him out before he can pop off again. But I mean, but yeah, I agree. It's just looking at the scores. Ulti has just such a. You can tell he just has such a massive skill advantage that it just works in his team's favor to have him on it.
GKD just needs to hang on for the remainder of this half in order
Saladin just killing it. Saladin just, sorry to interrupt.
Was that 3? No.
But Saladin just murdered it.
That was I think that was 3 kills and 3 shots there from Saladin.
Well, and it looks like that with those kills, with those very clutch kills, the momentum is gonna slightly switch back in favor of TrAC, and Uber Nanos, he's gonna go off and get another kill, help his team take back the point, try to even it up with 4-5 right now. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to get used to some of the spectator controls. I think I'm getting the hang of it.
So we do see TrAC taking a point back here, bringing the score to only 1 point difference. If they can, man, they would have to hustle. But if they can get a point here before the end of this half, going into the second half with a tie game, could make for an upset over GKD here.
Agreed, it certainly could, but Will Spawn's coming in now, and
He's a nice
Ruggy,
player.
I believe, he's up front, but he's doing the job right now. And Ulti, he's up by himself, trying to draw attention or get the picks if Ruggy's not able to do it. But right now, it's kind of pick for pick, but in the end, I think it's going to go in favor of GKD. At least that's how it's looking right now.
Yeah, a stalemate definitely holds an advantage for GKD. If they can just play patient here and prevent another point loss, another trench loss, they could keep that momentum going into the second half and move right along in our qualifier number 2.
Oh, camera broke. Okay.
Nearly 50 kills for Ulti here. We've talked a lot about the top performers. Let's talk about the bottom performers.
Yes,
in not only scoreboard performance, but also choice of name. Beef Squisher with 11.
Are you kidding? That's my favorite.
Miserable
name.
kills. Beef Squisher.
Beef Squisher.
Gross me out.
It's like it makes me think maybe I'm starting to understand why people don't like the word moist. Beef Squisher.
Beef Squisher, not into it. I feel like it's like one of those weird like child YouTube channels where it's like it's porn but it's not porn because they got it on YouTube, where it's just a guy squishing beef. Somebody gets off on that, I'm sure.
Well, because you can't just I was gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I take that back.
Back what I didn't say.
I was gonna. It's like I was gonna start it, and then I figured I'm not gonna do that just yet. Let's see, but that's not to say that every player on the side of GKD is performing, because Douglas, he has been fairly underwhelming. You haven't seen a whole lot out of him. Only 16. So since Beef Squisher did get another kill, he's only 4 above Beef Squisher.
This is true.
So it's not that GKD every player is rolling over TrAC right now, and because it looks like Ulti is really the major player on this field.
Ulti is the clear standout, and
Yes,
probably
he's got quite a reputation in Europe. I think he's among
Yes.
the top players, and I think it's widely recognized.
and I'd have to say the player of the match so far. Player of the match. What is our player of the match going to win in this one here, Fred?
God, I hate to say it's on your briefing.
I know it is. It is absolutely is. I'm looking for it.
All right, so it looks like TrAC was able to push up. They were given the opportunity to go up and try for their own attack, and it looks like it is going pretty well for them.
That is going to be a 5-4 first half on Artois here between GKD and TrAC. GKD coming out with the advantage early on, but hardly a comfortable one.
And I'm amazed to say that it looks like we're on time. We are officially on time. It's 2:30. The next game is in 45 minutes.
All right. So let's see what this next one is. If GKD is able to keep that momentum from that victory, or if TrAC maybe is able to throw something together, pull together as a team, and show GKD that they're not gonna just roll over and die, as it were.
The teams are calling for a 5-minute break.
Need to use alcohol and nicotine to wash the cancer, says Ulti. Come on, man. If we've learned anything since Mad Men, it's that those two things are going to not wash that away.
Great show. Great show.
Are we granting a 5-minute meme break?
Yeah, we're granting it.
Okay.
All right then.
I think some players are still in the map, on the map, just warming up, shooting and picking each other off, because why not?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
That's what we're here to do today.
It'd be a great time, a great opportunity to pick up some rumors that are might or may not be happening on Discord right now about spam nicks and who that person might be.
Who he may or may not be.
It's unknown. It's unknown. He messaged me late at night. No, not late at night. Yesterday, I think 2 days ago, maybe, saying he wasn't gonna make it, and he dumped all the logistics on poor Ubernanos, who proudly brought this team together and did the map ban, the very controversial map ban that has stirred a lot of discussions in the MVP channel and a few votes in Congress, which ended up in the split between a European Congress and a North American Congress, so that the map bans happen by region rather than city.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they basically vote a selection of 5 maps. 5 maps for Europe and 5 maps for North America, and then they take the 5 maps and the 2 MVPs meeting each other. Eliminate maps one by one until there's only one map left, and that's the map they play. That's the system.
Okay.
I just came in saying, hey, random maps is enough. you little rookie, that's not how we roll here. We're gonna do map ban. I'm like, fine.
These guys like to have opinions about stuff. That is definitely something
it's also, for me, it's what makes the job fun. Honestly, it's the how many discussions and how much excitement and also like wisdom comes out of everything that happens in between the events. All that's happening between MVPs on Discord is it's exciting.
All right, so we do need a TrAC comeback here, only by 1 point, but could be quite the upset. I certainly know that our Twitch chat over here certainly understands, or certainly seems to think that GKD should have an easy win here, but to me it has not been an easy one. Giving up 4 points to an apparently inferior team is just not as one-sided as these fun and wonderful viewers think.
No, because the GKD might have ulti, who is very good, but there's only so much one person can do. Because if the rest of your team just isn't quite performing, they're performing the same as the other team, it's as long as they're able to get something done, as long as they take out ulti, well then at that point it could easily go in favor of TrAC. So that is one issue with having that MVP on your side that that can go off and get the fix you need. As soon as he's down, it's not quite as comfortable for you because there's so many other players on the other team that can now have free reign to take you out. So I think that's one of the big things. They don't have as many of those big performers aside from the one.
We'll see if Spamnix is able to do a proper Samnix impression. That would do a lot towards tipping the scales in their favor. Is having just one more outstanding player to offset that tremendous skill from ulti.
All right. I was gonna say I think we're getting close to that 5 minute.
Yeah, I think we're going live.
All right.
Nick, just so you know, we have a fun little back and forth with the code in this game, where we have to make sure that Entente must be on attack. Entente always on attack.
All right.
It's resulted in more than a handful of restarts.
Awesome.
But it looks like we are 1 for 1 today. Or 2 for 2. We got it in the first half as well. It didn't have to have a restart.
Did we? All right. Awesome. So it looks like, yep, GKD is going to be red. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm getting my bearings.
We are back on our TrAC. Looks like we may have needed a restart anyway.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And of course, guys, we are running giveaways in chat all day. Uber Han's running the show over there. Make sure you harass him. He's got a backpack full of free stuff, and he is walking through a crowd. Go get him, y'all.
And he is German. I just want to throw it out there. He is German, Fred. I am French, and we work together just fine.
I'm trying to get him robbed. I'm not trying to get him beaten to death like you are.
When I started was German, I said you're gonna be the director of business development.
Yes. Yes,
said, I'm French. I'm the lumière. I'm the light. I'm the creativity. Right. You are the
business, yeah.
and designated waiver of the white flag.
Yes,
Oh, I was gonna say, are you gonna say it or am I gonna say it? I wasn't sure who was gonna go for that one first.
Feel free.
A bit of a low-hanging fruit, but that's okay.
It's as low-hanging fruit as the phrase "low-hanging fruit."
Yes.
All right, so we are off to a fast start here in the second half. GKD starting out with a firing squad here with Ruggy in the finger, pretty exposed at the moment. We'll see if Ulti's able to get us back. Not gonna happen. TrAC taking a foothold early on.
Looks like they're going for almost the exact same defense they went before. They're all spread out one by one along the line, and Ulti, he's doing pretty well. He's the one that's been so far getting the most kills on GKD with now 3, 4. As I'm counting, he just keeps adding. Oh, is it 6 now?
He's got 6 totals.
Oh, he's got 7. Okay.
Not a death. Ulti is running the show here.
All right, because I was looking a bit more of this single confrontation right here around this this hilled bunker, but they already got 7. All right, well, he's keeping that momentum going from the last game. Let's see how fast he can get to 50.
GKD with a strong hold on this trench here. TrAC with 4 players in that finger coming down. Ulti finally getting dropped. They might get to retake this trench here, TrAC.
And Ulti was taken down by our favorite name, Beef Swisher, of all people.
Yeah, he's been pretty aggressive at the beginning of this second match, Beef Swisher.
You guys remember back in the day of LAN parties when you had like your one friend in the basement that was playing against you, and all of a sudden, and you knew he sucked, and so you could pick on him really easily, and then so every time you kill him, it didn't feel like an accomplishment. But then they switched controllers with the guy that was good. That might be what we're seeing here with Beef Squisher. 2 of these guys might be landing.
It could be. That would certainly be interesting. I would love to see something like that happen just for morale. Morale's sake.
We might have to write in some new rules into the E4I guidelines if that's the case.
Here, you sit over here, but you sit in my seat real quick. You do this.
I was gonna say we have guidelines.
The internet finds loopholes. Don't worry, Ray Urias, editor-in-chief of opnoobs.com. The internet will find your loopholes.
Oh, there you are.
So still a 0-0 game here as we are reaching the 4-minute mark going into the second half. GKD with an early lead on kills, but still a tie game otherwise.
Well, and so far they are trading kills fairly well, but GKD does have a man advantage here, so I don't know how well TrAC is going to be able to defend this point right now.
Well,
with this big spawn here,
Spamnix is shooting hard.
And he's going for his similarly named person, but he's going to be taken out by Famnix, it looks like. So he tried to go for him, not quite able to do it.
Samnick's name has been memed in this community pretty hard over the last few months.
But
we just need to think of all the various different ways you could say, like Whamnix, Famnix, Spamnix. Got Spamnix, got Whamnix, and then you can have like Wham Bam, thank you, ma'am. You gotta have the Whamnix in there.
Whamnix from Winland.
Yes, that'd be good. And Ulti, he's alone against 2 people. Let's see what he's able to do. He's jumping around like a rabbit. He's being one of the rabbit snipers. Bunny snipers, take that back. And he does take out 2. Okay.
That's the Ulti effect. I love to see a grand final of the championship in April. Ulti versus that. I like to see where that goes.
The one problem with Ulti being off by himself is that the rest of his team fell around him. Take that back. But with that spawn, he was used as a spawn point there, so it looks like they are going to have the man advantage.
And maybe this is just a trait of outstanding players of this game, but Ulti does seem like a guy that doesn't need to offer all that much coordination other than I'm here and I am killing stuff.
And it's also
and then everyone else does the rest.
And it makes the job of a spectator relatively easy because you just cam it up on Ulti and you follow the action and you go through all the kills. It's thrilling and it's quite relaxing. I've been sipping on my tea for the past 10 minutes.
Heard it here first, folks. Fred doesn't work hard.
Nope, sits at his chair, drinks some tea.
That's all he does,
folks. Says some things every once in a while.
Relies on Ulti. First point of the game going to GKD, increasing their lead to 2 points. We will see if TrAC is able to take back. Now it's going to have to be a couple of trenches here just to get the tie.
Yeah, and it looks like the man advantage is going to go in favor of GKD. They were able to take out Ulti pretty early, but then Shazazzle, what's his name? Shazazzle. I'm going to call him Shazazzle. Shazazzle bot was able to take out 2, so that evened that out pretty quick. So GKD, I think, is going to be able to defend this still, even losing Ulti early on. I think you're probably just going to call him Shazazzle. Everyone's going to get a nickname. These are already nicknames, but I might give him another one if I can't pronounce their name right. We got Jim, we got Smoker, we got Shazazzle, we got Salad.
It'll likely get easier when we get to the American bracket.
I'm hoping, but then I've seen some American names, and they're not a whole lot easier some of the time.
It's a nonsense we know, rather than a nonsense we don't. Your
looks like
viewers are not happy with us, Fred.
Well, I don't know. I'm American, so who knows? There might be just that innate distrust of me. I don't know, but so far it looks like TrAC is able to get a few kills that are going in their favor. They did manage to group up after the respawn, and Ulti, he's going against 3 or 4 right now, but he's able to take out 2, so he might be able to. Yep, 3. Okay, I take that back. It was looking good, but Ulti by himself is
another there.
He just makes stuff happen.
Got 24 kills on the scoreboard. 24 kills and only 6 deaths. He's only been killed. He also has one of the fewer deaths.
The second place in kills is 15 compared to Ulti's 24. We are definitely seeing Ulti and Shazalaz Ding Dong coming through with a huge performance in this second half here. You'd have to think that is discouraging for TrAC, who is hoping to mount a comeback early in the second half.
That has to be a major hit to their morale, as you said. It's just because with Ulti with 24, now there's 2. There's only 2 people on the side of TrAC that have double-digit kills, and that's Jim and Smoker. So with almost everyone on the side of GKD going to have double digits, it just can't feel good. Even if you still have the skill to go to, to play the game.
Demoralizing. It's deflating.
Majorly demoralizing to just see that if you look at the score.
Oh, and we have a foothold established. Oof. GKD coming through with another big push here. We'll see if they can pick up the second point by picking up another trench here.
All right, Darkin's caught up by himself. He's not going to be able to do anything there. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's not nearly as much of that back and forth as we saw in the last round. Right now it's all GKD, all in the kill feed and the scoreboard, and just watching it. Just TrAC, I think, needs to just take a second, regroup a little bit, and launch a better offensive. It's much harder than it sounds, but I just think they need to just take that second and to try to regroup.
We do see, TrAC is going to grab a foothold here. 3 players in the trench, only Douglas from GKD with the defense, but he does pick up a huge spawn. We'll see if Ulti can turn this around in that little inlet there. Oh, down they go. TrAC, again, just cannot hold on to some momentum when they get it.
No, I think they played that point just a little bit too passive. I think they weren't quite as aggro as they needed to be. As soon as they realized Douglas was by himself, or they could just move in, I think that might have worked for him. But yeah, Chuck, they just couldn't take advantage of that advantage that they had going into that confrontation.
Yeah, Douglas needed to go down to stop that respawn from happening, and then from there it was once again the tremendous skill from Ulti and from Shazalazalazabot coming through in a big way. As we see GKD with their second point taking another trench, extending their lead to 3 coming in from that first half. We are likely going to see a GKD win here unless TrAC is really able to flip the switch. I mean, honestly, much like GK did at the start of this first half, especially when you're talking about the performances from Ulti with 34 kills now.
Well, and it looks like, this is not going to be good for TrAC. They did have a man advantage going into that one again, but with the respawns for GKD being on complete opposite sides of the map, they're just going to have a very nice pincer move, able to clean up, and again, I just think that one I really can't say that TrAC did anything wrong there. I think that was just an unfortunate spawn that just worked against him there, if I'm being completely honest.
It does seem, from what I've been told from the MVPs of the Verdun community, that the gas squad that we're seeing used in the middle of the field there is a troll squad. So I think that is a sign of concession from the TrAC squad.
Yeah, that certainly could be, because I think they realize at this point that it's going to be really hard to stage a comeback, and because there's so little time remaining in order to do that. They're already going to be down almost 4 points, I believe, after they're able to get this attack going. And it's just not looking good for them yet. I really want to see a nice attack from TrAC. I really want to see him come back, get some points, make it exciting, make it interesting. But sadly it's just not looking like that's going to happen.
Comebacks in this game happen not all at once. It's kind of interesting when you see a drastic shift in momentum in other shooters, like something popular like in Overwatch. It's usually due to one conflict. It's one team wipe, and now that payload is advancing this huge distance. In a game like Verdun, sorry, I'm talking about Overwatch.
No, I know. It's like that. What? There's a payload. People actually do that.
There's an objective. I thought it was strictly a deathmatch game. when you see those shifts in momentum in a game like Verdun, it's going to be much closer to something like over the course of 3 interactions. It's not one team wipe. It's 2 wipes, or it's a couple partial wipes, and then they get a foothold before they can really finish the job.
Well, all right, let's see if TrAC is able to do that. Let's see if they are able to make something work. With the GKDs moving in, hopefully TrAC's able to, spread and try to get a solid defense here, especially with GKD all coming up in the one area. So if they look over there, they might get a nice wipe of all of them. But then again, with a couple people going along to the edge of this trench, they might get the spawn that it allows them to take it in favor of GKD.
Yeah, and for those unfamiliar with how this scoring is going to work, GKD just defended a trench that they had a foothold in, and now they are making a push. If they take this trench, that will result in a 3rd point, more or less an insurmountable advantage for TrAC to come back from there.
Yeah, that's just going to be so difficult for them, because now that their spawn's coming in, they're at such a disadvantage with these spawns because they have 0 places to go, 0 cover. And so there's going to be very little at this point that TrAC can do, at least from
there is the 3rd point. Yeah, TrAC came out guns blazing that first half, kept things closer than GKD, I think, expected, or many of our viewers expected, in fact. I don't know why I'm getting so much satisfaction out of rubbing the viewers' noses in it, but just something about looking at a anonymous mass of people and saying you're wrong, even though in this case they're right.
They're like, that's not gonna happen. Wait a minute. 5 minutes in. Come on, Salad. Come out for your team. He's alone right now in the trench. Take out ulti. You know you want to. He does. He knifes him in the back. That's almost better. He died immediately after by Shazazzle. But
that should be a point.
That is definitely something going for Salad. Good job there.
Back.
Wasn't paying any attention. Very nice grenade though. Well, sorry, airplane bomb, not really a grenade, but able to take out Demas. So let's see if they're able to get it. They do have man advantage, so let's see if they're able to take advantage of that. Come on, you can do it. There you go. You have it. Come on, TrAC. You have the advantage here. I want to see some out of you now. Oh, ulti able to take out 2. Man, someone's got to do something about this man.
Ulti going nuts right now. Although he has cooled off a bit from that hot start.
Well, you say that, and then he goes off and gets 6 kills, I think, in that span of 20 seconds. He's like, well, they cooled off. Like, well, hang on. He's heating up again. Give him a second. There he is.
He is going to get up over 50 kills in this match, no doubt.
And he only has 14 deaths, so he's tied with the lowest on his team right now in terms of deaths, and no one's even close. But then again, Shazazzle, he's close. He's about 37 kills, so he's almost hitting that 40 mark. So he's also doing a very good job. Let's look on the side of TrAC, and so far it looks like Beef Squisher. Then again, Darkness is close second for so far the weakest performers on the side of TrAC.
28 deaths from the Squisher of Beef. That poor guy.
Yeah, right. Oof. Right now he's at what, 0.25? He's about a 0.25 KD ratio right now. And it looks like the weakest performer on the side of GKD is going to be Ruggy. So Douglas, who was the weakest performer. Oh, they take that back. I'm sorry. Famnix is so far the weakest performer when Douglas was last round. So Douglas looked like he picked it up, but Famnix, on the other hand, he not a whole lot of it coming out of him this round.
Which points at the fact that Spamnix is an imposter, because there's just no way Samnix, the great Samnix, could have done such a treacherous performance.
Treacherous.
Treacherous, such a meager,
I had to pick a medieval word.
All right, GKD looks like they're going to pick up the 4th point here. And they are going to be the winner of our first match of the day. Qualifier number 2 goes to GKD. with a convincing win after what was actually a pretty close first half, only gaining a 1-point advantage, 5-4. But a clean sweep in this second half, 4-0. We are seeing Ulti with a huge game, 47 total kills. That is going to do it. Nick, I gotta say, I don't think there's much of a discussion for player of the match. That's got to go to Ulti. Would you agree?
I'd have to agree. I mean, I'd like to see it go to someone else, just for to pick them up a little bit, because Ulti, I'm sure, is already happy with how he performed because he just did so well. But I can't give it to anybody else. He did have that performance. That
gotta be real here. Yeah. We've got so our second match of the day, the last one from the Europeans, going to be between the Acrobatic Clowns and Prime, a couple of newcomers with some familiar faces on those rosters. Coming up in the second match, I believe we are going to break. Is that right, Fred?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, guys. We've got 10 minutes until the second match of our qualifier number 2, powered by E4I, the Verdun Championships. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in 10. See you in just a minute.